Hey y'all, this is Lauren Akins, and I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. The last time you heard from me was back in the summer when we released the 3rd season of the Live and Love podcast all about parenting. I took time to sit down with fellow parents, parenting experts, and my village of family and friends that helped me raise my girls to talk about what it looks like to live and love while parenting.
Yes, and I'm Annie F. Downs. I had a great time co-hosting season 3 of the Live and Love podcast with Lauren. If you haven't listened yet, go back, check out those episodes. They are super impactful. I know y'all are going to love them. And season 1 and 2 are there for you as well. But today we decided to release a special episode of the Live and Love podcast because we needed to talk about Christmas. Okay, Laura, listen. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited about this surprise episode. People are losing their minds right now along with us.
That's right.
Tell us how much you love Christmas.
I mean,
I know.
There are no words.
I know. It's just, you were made for it.
It's just an experience. It's a feeling. It's like, I can't explain it to you in words. You've just got to experience it with me.
When does it start for you?
Honestly, like in the summertime, I'm like, okay, we are halfway there.
Really?
And I start to like feel like just little bits of excitement.
Uh-huh.
And
like, are you thinking about decorations at that point?
A little,
wow.
or just like, looking forward to it,
yes,
I guess you could say. I allow myself to start looking forward to it about half a year out.
Tell me how different Christmas is now at the Akins house than it was when you and Thomas Rhett. Like, tell me about your first Christmas versus this one.
Well, our first Christmas, Thomas Rhett was a little strapped for cash as a young artist, just not sure if we could afford a Christmas tree. And by we, I mean he was not sure. He was not sure if we could afford a Christmas tree.
Wow.
And so my family grew up doing real trees.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I really want to get a real tree for our first Christmas. And he was like, nope, not doing it. And it took a lot of it was a moment in our marriage where I was like, hey, listen, we may have should have had the Christmas conversation before we got married. But here's the thing.
Premarital.
Here's the thing. One thing we're not going to skimp on is Christmas. So thankfully now, fast forward 10 years, we've got 4 little girls, 2 dogs, lots of family members.
Yes.
And he has joined in on the theme in our house of you don't skimp on Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's chaos.
Yeah.
It's full on chaos, but it is like full on everything.
Yeah. Trees, lights, wreaths.
Lights. Yeah. Like teaching your kids about giving and a part of Jesus.
Yeah.
Like it's everything is celebrated to like the 100th degree. And
how do you, where's the stress level versus the fun level at Christmas? Does your stress go high as the excitement goes high?
No.
Great.
Yeah, I don't do stress well.
Yeah, great.
So I just, let it go.
Be. Here comes the holiday.
Let it be. But it is a wild house, but it is so much fun.
Yeah. And the good part is today on this episode, it is not just us talking about Christmas.
That's right. That's right. So here's the fun thing. We actually have some short conversations with each of my season 3 guests.
Yes.
And every question is specifically about Christmas. So we're going to talk about what Christmas looks like for them in their life and what they love about the holiday. And we're also going to dig in and get some help from the experts on how to do this season when things aren't exactly the way you hoped in your family or in the world. So go grab your favorite mug, heat up something warm to drink, like apple cider or hot chocolate with marshmallows, maybe. Oh, I'm a hot chocolate girl.
I'm an apple cider girl.
Really?
This is us. This is great. Yeah. So we're heating up our drinks.
That's right. You're wrapping your gifts. You're listening to all of your favorite Christmas songs along with your favorite Christmas podcast episode.
That's right.
And y'all can listen along to this collection of conversations that we have for you today.
Yeah, and if you want to go back and get to know each of these experts or guests better, they are all from season 3. So everybody you're going to get to hear is from season 3, as Lauren said. So y'all can go back and hear that episode they were on. But let's hear it. Okay, Grace, Lindsay, Lauren, we're talking about like doing life together, multiple families. Talk about the holidays like this. I mean, does y'all's life just get insane? Are you buying gifts for everybody, Lindsay? And Grace, is a small group like the loudest place ever?
I know that's true. Small group. I've made an appearance a time or two with small group.
Lindsay
Christmas
was
get together.
Buddy the Elf.
Okay,
the
I feel
first
like
year we did it.
Yeah. Well, but people didn't know she was coming. So we every
no
year.
one knew. The adults did not know she was coming.
Who did know?
Macy. Was it.
So Macy was the only one who knew. And all of us got together at the time with all the kids that were in the picture. I think every year since then, we've done like a small group get together for Christmas, like a Christmas party. And Macy goes, everybody look out the window. What is that? And like out in the tree line, first off, Lauren and Thomas Rhett's house looks like Opryland at Christmas.
It does, right.
It's the most
We need so many
unbelievable
lights.
light
We
show.
love
Yes.
Christmas
So many lights.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. But we look out and behind the tree line at the back of their yard, there's
A body.
a
tall body.
a very tall body in yellow tights. All you can see is the yellow tights.
Oh my gosh.
Bouncing like
Lindsay.
Like he hops across the street.
Like,
yes,
Yeah.
that's what you did. Yeah.
yes, but behind the trees, and everybody's like, I think
What?
Thomas Rhett got freaked. He was like,
Uh-huh.
"Who's on? Who is
Someone's in our backyard and we don't know.
Yeah,
It didn't take y'all long though.
yeah."
And
And it
then
just-
the tie, we're like, are those that's an elf hat. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Did you come bearing
it's
gifts?
Buddy the
Or
elf.
did you just show up as Buddy?
I just showed up as Buddy.
Great.
We just threw it together. It was hysterical. But
Yeah.
but
So
all
funny.
of the kids, we made up this whole thing that I was, Buddy's elf, but he couldn't come.
Oh.
And so I was a real life elf for the kiddos. and
that's right.
She was taking pictures with them and they ate it up. So did I, honestly. I just about died when I realized it was Lindsay.
It was so fun.
It was
fun
so much
surprising y'all.
fun.
It
But
was
I mean,
so
that
fun.
that is like just the perfect picture of holidays, like within your village of people.
Yeah.
Just like the more the merrier. It's gonna be chaos, which is part of the beauty
Y'all
of
are
it.
literally the more the merrier from October 30th to December 30th. Y'all are the more the merrier in that season more than anybody else.
I think that's
Yep.
why I love the holiday season so much. It's because you're with all of there's an excuse to be together literally all the time.
Anything goes.
And that is like
Anything
when my
goes.
heart
Yeah.
is just so full is when all my people are together. And oh man, how much longer until we have to be
I know, right? I will add, I mean, as far as like the gift giving, I think at one point I told Lauren, I was like, listen, I'm going to get your kiddos birthday gifts as soon as they turn 5 and on. But that's a lot to commit to outside of that.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and Lauren's just one of my girlfriends,
Yeah, yeah.
And so I just like put it out there. So, but it's Christmas. Like they're just, they don't even care.
No,
you
but
know?
just- yeah, getting to be together it is so much fun.
Okay, Patoya, we already talked about your family on
Yes.
episode 7. You've got 2 little kids. This
Yes.
is your first Christmas as a mom of 2.
My gosh, I cannot believe it.
I know. Lauren, help us. What happens when it
Yes.
goes from 1 kid to 2?
Well, I feel like I jumped from 0 to 2.
Yeah, that's true. You actually don't know. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, Patoya, you're going to have to teach Lauren what
Yeah,
happens when
I'll
you
let
go
you know
from
how
1
it
to 2.
It's fun.
Patoya, what do you think about Christmas? What's it been like as an adoptive mom to your Christmas changed quickly?
Very quickly. I love Christmas so much. I just think it's so fun, and I probably am more excited about it than her right now. But I think 3 is such a fun age, and now she
Yeah.
understands gifts and fun things like that. But I think the most fun concept of, and this could be controversial,
Okay, great.
but we'll be Santa Claus people, and I always say
Oh,
that
right.
Santa Claus is. I always say. I heard this from a friend who is obsessed with Christmas, and I was like, I'm taking that for sure. But he said it gives children something to believe in when something that they can't see to believe in. So it's practicing believing in Christ. And so I'm like, oh, we're Santa people for sure. I already loved the magic
Yeah.
of Christmas, and you made it more magical. But I think what's so fun about Christmas is Narnia. We've talked about Narnia so much, but I'm pretty obsessed with the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
So I'm like, try to make our house very Narnia-esque with
Yeah.
animals. And my daughter loves animals.
So
loves.
sweet.
So I just am like, I'm probably way too excited. She's only 3, and I'm like, okay, we'll have talking animals, and we will have Santa, and we'll have all the things. It's so fun. I think I probably watched the Chronicles of Narnia 5, 6, 7 times during Christmas, and it's
Yeah.
just on in the background. I just think it's so magical. So
so sweet.
I'm so pumped.
That's really sweet.
I
That's a great
know,
answer.
and that's such a magical age.
Oh,
I mean, I know you say
is.
that you're going to be more excited than she is, and maybe at times you will be, but 3 is just like
I'm so excited.
such a magical age. So enjoy it.
And sweet little Bubba is probably going to be like, what is happening?
so
He's
precious.
won't even be 1 yet. He's probably like, what's going on? So I think it's going to be so
sweet.
fun.
Okay, so we're talking about Christmas with David, Thomas, Sissy Goff. Lauren, one of the things you and I were just talking about is what if Christmas looks different this year, right? We've talked about grandparents passing away or a new baby in the house, which happens in Lauren's family a lot. So
Yep, it sure does. Or kids getting older.
Yeah.
And Christmas not being the same as when they were younger.
Yes. Yeah.
All of those. Lots of changes can happen.
So we all talk a little bit about communicating with the boys in our family, the girls in our family, when this Christmas looks different than we thought it would, than last Christmas did. Someone's missing, someone's added. There's been a tragedy in our community. Anything that makes them go, this didn't feel the way I thought it would.
Yeah. I would say one thing that comes to mind for me is I think back to the wisdom of those words of, you can't tame what you can't name. And I think if we don't start by naming and acknowledging, even if it's a hard thing, someone we love is not in this room, and giving kids permission to acknowledge that, and then we talk about what that's like for us, it's hard to figure out how we move forward. And many of us grew up, in homes where we thought it was better if we didn't name the hard things, and then we'll kind of pretend like it didn't happen and we'll all go on. And it still happened. And so I think it begins with us giving ourselves permission and kids permission to name things, even if it's been something hard. I had a family yesterday that their daughter, who is 5, looked at her mom because they have a new baby, and she said, "I like that baby, and sometimes I wish it was just you and me again." My mom was like, I was so grateful she could say that, in that way. That honestly, of course you feel that way.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you don't love your little sister, but who wouldn't miss when it was just us? So.
Yeah. That's so sweet.
I know. I love that. And I think I would add with guys and girls to go back to the truth of Christmas, that the light shines in the darkness and the darkness has not overcome it. And the reason that we have Christmas is because we needed light. Yeah. And so we can talk about both things and be in both places.
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay and Kate are here. We did an entire episode of this season about single momming. So all 3 of you are probably in charge of the Christmas gifting in your home.
That's safe to say.
Tell me what it is like to handle the Christmas shopping for all these humans.
With mine, I feel like it was easier when they were little.
Yeah.
Now it's like, what does a 15-year-old want? Really just access to my closet. And like
Which she has.
And uses. Like this morning, she was like, I need a tank top, Mom. And I was like, if you washed your clothes, she'd have one.
That's good.
But also coordinating now with like, I am going to get this for them. What are you thinking?
Oh, sure.
And then having to like work with my ex-in-laws as well of like, this is what I'm thinking. And they ask me for ideas because they know that I know,
Right.
Right. But shopping for 4 people is hard anyway. It's just hard.
Yeah.
But really fun too. Like, I'm shopping for a 15 and an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So like very different, you know. Abigail wants clothes and jewelry and Annabelle wants a hoverboard.
Right.
Or skates or, something. So.
Lindsay, how different is Christmas with Ben?
Christmas is so different with Ben. It's fun. My mom is like a compulsive shopper. Like she probably could do a program around it. So I really leaned into the fact that Ben had more than what he needed this Christmas and got him very little. I also am not great at like not buying things when I need them and like saving them for a holiday.
Yeah.
And so I think as I get older, as Ben gets older, and I get older too, that I'll get better at it, like in figuring out how to do Christmas and make it special. And hopefully it's not just centered around the gifts and the things. I grew up in a very gift and thing family, and that's great. But it also, I want to create like routines and,
And we do experiences a lot. So you
Yeah.
get this, and it's an experience that we'll go do.
Oh, fun.
I love those. I tell relatives, like, give them an experience. So like my sister Evelyn will give an experience for birthdays or Christmas because we don't need more stuff.
Yeah.
But experiencing something with someone is great.
Giving memories.
Yes, giving memories. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, Lauren, so Christmas time is about the birth of Jesus, right?
That's right.
How do you, all three of y'all speak to this, Dave and Sydney, how do you parent through Christmas where it's fun and Santa and gifts and also the birth of the Lord and Savior? How do you do that?
Well, it's all of it. In our house, it's all of it. We celebrate big. We do the Christmas lights. We have the Christmas trees. We've got the parties. We've got the desserts. We've got the gatherings. But in all of it, weaved through all of it is the story of Jesus. And at the end of the day, my girls love birthdays are a big deal in our house. And getting to talk about the birth of Jesus at Christmas is obviously so special to us, but teaching that to your kids and letting that is why we do what we do. All these fun things come along with it. We get to do these things too. We choose to do these things too. But the reason that all of this exists is because we get to celebrate that Jesus came and was born, and because of that, we get to live forever and talk about the goodness of him and all of that. But it's weaved in all of it, but we go hard on Christmas.
Do y'all too, Claytons? Y'all go hard?
I'm just affirming, yes, you do go hard at Christmas.
Yeah, boy.
It is so fun.
Yes.
It's so fun to be around y'all at Christmas time. Like, yes to that. We feel like it's like a dartboard. Like, we're like, oh, we did really well this year. And they're like way off on the other side the next year. So it's kind of a moving target. We're learning what is helpful at each age with them. One of the things that we have done since they were little is at church, a bunch of mamas got together, 25 different mamas, and we all did an ornament for 25 days of Christmas. So I did 25 of the same ornament, and then I swapped them with the other women.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And so it's these little Advent ornaments, and our boys have their own tree. We have a tree in every room too.
Hey,
love it. So they had a tree. They have a tree in the room, and they put these ornaments on there. And our breakfast time is really our devotional worship time. So every morning during the Advent season, we open up an ornament, and it has a study that goes with it that points back to Jesus. So our day at least starts that way. And the ornament, they all are excited. We pack it up like it's a present, and they open it up every day, like, which one's it going to be? And they try and guess now because we've done it so many years. So that's just been a fun tradition of rooting each morning in it.
Yeah.
Even though it's still the day of, is like they have lost their mind. We've forgotten what this is all about. But, trying to keep pulling it back.
That's good to hear. That's how it is in a pastor's house. And even in a pastor's house, the paper's getting ripped to shreds, and it's not like, let's pray first.
We're putting bikes on the roof, because it's like Santa couldn't get them down the chimney. So we're like, the bike's on the roof, So
did you actually do that?
Yes, twice. And
does that mean y'all got one more to go?
No.
Missed it on the first one.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
But no, so
that's amazing.
all in with the fun, but really, we do try to dial it in and say, hey, this is a season about generosity, about giving, about thinking of others. And so, we start our mornings that way, which has been so helpful, just rooting them in the story over and over and over. And then just looking for opportunities to say, hey, this year, we're going to do this with our time in the evenings. We're going to do this with our generosity. We're going to have less under your tree so we can put some things under somebody else's tree.
Wow.
And especially as they've gotten older, man, they are all into that. They've bought in. It's been really, really fun.
Kind of elfing other people. They actually love that because they're kind of like little mischievous pranksters at heart. Not mean, but just like, ooh, this is fun.
Yes.
Yeah, they love that. They love it.
That's awesome.
Okay, Lauren and Carrie, we got to talk about Christmas for a minute, and we have to talk about how do you help your kids when there's so much comparison around Christmas? Lauren, like different gifts for different kids in your house, but also other kids getting other gifts.
Yeah. Well, there's a variation for sure, like within our even friend group, but just the community that we find ourselves in. And every house looks different. Every family looks different. The way they do things is different. So I find myself most of the time just trying to point them to the things that are really great about, like, oh my gosh, that's amazing that your friend got so-and-so for Christmas, and how cool for her. And yeah, I love that. And this is, how cool that you got to get this for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, you're so lucky. That's so much fun that you get to just celebrate the things that are easy to celebrate. And I feel like at a younger age, which mine are, distraction is the easiest thing to just try to be like, look at what you have and how much fun is this, and let's go do this fun thing. And then sometimes, it's the hard conversation of, that's really cool that they get to do that in their house.
Right.
That's not how we do our house.
Right.
And that's okay. But these are the things we get to do.
Yeah. Carrie, how do you deal with that when there's other moms that wrapped more presents, or it's the year that you did the best you could, but there's only 2 gifts under the tree, or 1? How do you deal with that mom shame around what you're able to give your kids or do for your kids?
Yes. The story that keeps coming to mind was when my girls were little, there was a Christmas and they were dying for a dog. And of course, one of their good friends got a puppy. And, we were like, Santa's not going to bring a puppy. We're not going to give you a puppy. We're so sorry. But it is hard because you're tempted to cave and you just want to make them happy. But, what I've learned is that I have to keep telling myself, don't let anything steal your joy. And I think that December is one of those months that we moms can be so hard on ourselves, and we can just get so fixated on, I feel like I'm cheating my kids, or they're not going to be happy, or it's not going to be a magical occasion. And we're expecting it to be perfect. And just to, again, give ourselves grace and to know that, I'm just going to focus on what's good. Like Lauren said, be grateful. That's awesome that your friend got a puppy. You can go play at their house with their puppy or whatever the hot gift of the season is. Yeah. But just doing what's best for your family and just trying to celebrate that and teaching our kids to do it. But it really does begin with us moms, because if we get wrapped up in what everybody else is doing and feeling inadequate or that we're cheating our kids, then it's going to spill over into the children too. So that's just 1 month that I have to continue just giving myself grace, telling myself I'm doing the best I can, God sees that, and just know that, do the best you can, give yourself grace, and know that every family is different.
That's good. Okay, Lauren and TR, listen, it's Christmas time. Y'all have to tell people how you feel about Christmas and what you do to your house at Christmas.
What we do or what she does?
I don't know who it is. Is it all her?
Absolutely.
I thought you were involved.
I mean, I love it.
Oh, but it's not in your heart like it's in her heart?
No, I think I have to relate everything to if I were single, what would my house look like? And it would not look like our house.
Whereas if you were single, and
it would look just the way that it does. Although we put a lot, our friend puts a lot of lights up at our house.
You can see our house from space.
I believe this.
Yeah.
You can see your house from streets over.
Absolutely.
When you're getting close, you're like, well, there it's buzzing at me through the field.
The first year we did this, at our house, I was like, this is our first year in this new neighborhood. I think everyone is going to hate us when they go to sleep, and it's like in Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
It's that's what I feel like our neighbors think about us. I remember actually I was texting Chris Stapleton the other day about is that your house with the candy cane lights around the tree? And I said, man, we're gonna do that next year. He goes, what? You don't already have enough lights on your house? So that's kind of what people think about us. Anyway, it is lit, son. It is a lit Christmas.
It was lit, but sure. It was a gift to me. It was my Christmas gift to have someone come put lights up at the house, because he would be on tour and I would be on our roof top.
Oh my gosh.
Putting lights
in
on
this
the house.
No. I was like, I've only known this house. I cannot imagine you getting up on top of this house.
A one-story, a ranch style house.
Yeah.
It was fun. Although
till you break your arm.
He was not into it. He found out I was on the roof and he was like, I wasn't even home. Nobody knew you were on the roof. What if you'd fallen off the house? I'm like, babe, I got it. And he's like, no, never again. If you love Christmas lights this much, I got a gift for you next Christmas. So he surprised me. He didn't say that. He surprised me the next Christmas and was like, I'm going to give you your Christmas gift early. Someone's coming to the house to meet with you today, and you can tell them where you want lights. And I add a little bit more every year. So now we just have over the year accumulated so many lights.
I mean, literally during the holidays, you could walk into any given room at any given moment and a breaker is flipping. I'm just walking around the house just hitting the red button on half our outlets in our daggum house. So
It is. I mean, the outside is spectacular, but the inside doesn't play either. Both have
They don't
impressed
play.
me greatly.
Yeah, the
They
inside,
don't
that's
play.
more, that's where I can actually do whatever I want.
yeah.
Not that I can't. Not that you won't let me do what I want. I'm more mean like that's
You can do
that's
it with
my,
your own self. Yes, you don't have to
that's
bring in a
There are
friend.
no
I mean, when we-
limitations on the inside.
When we first got married, I'll never forget this. I remember calling my business manager in December because Lauren wanted a real tree.
Uh-huh.
And we did real trees growing up, but my mom also got, I think, to a point where she was like, let's just put up the
right,
Old Faithful,
right,
Old Faithful
right.
that'll be here till the day we
That's
die
right.
and collect us, whatever. And I was just like, okay, and we drove to the lot. And back then, the Christmas trees were not as expensive as they are today. But I remember even calling my business manager and be like, can we afford this Christmas tree?
Oh,
I think it was like $80.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, who spends $80 on a Christmas tree? And she was like, we do.
Yeah.
And
like we are
and
buying
I remember
this
that tree.
He was
We
like,
were in a
"What?"
condo at that point. I remember that tree was maybe 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall. And then every year now we go back to the same lot, and every year we go back, the guy's like, "How big is it gonna be this year?" And last year I think we had a 14-foot Christmas tree.
Well, when you go into our house, the second story, when we drew it out, I really wanted all the kids' bedrooms upstairs being able to look down into the living room, kitchen, like it's all kind of one big room when you come into the front door. And so when you come in the front door, it's all like the living space, and then it's open to the girls' bedrooms upstairs. And so you've got this 2-story. I mean, you really just let your imagination go how tall you want the Christmas tree to go in 2 stories.
Yeah.
And so we have that.
It's going to keep taller.
I'm just gonna start my own Christmas tree farm.
Yeah. You're going to have to.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
But
so
only
fun.
one Christmas tree in the house. I thought I remember multiple. No?
We get the girls pick out one for their
we
bedroom.
do
Yeah.
like little mini ones in their
Yeah.
Really tiny.
bedrooms.
Yeah. The saddest part of my Christmas last year was it being icy on the night of y'all's party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I just really wrestled back and forth about what to do with
hard.
my life.
It's hard.
We weren't allowed to drive ourselves there. Y'all were very clear in the instructions that we had to take an Uber. I didn't want to put my life in the hands of an Uber.
Yeah,
Right.
I actually am shocked by the amount of people that showed up that did trust an Uber driver. I thought for sure we were canceling the party.
Yeah.
And then people were like, great, still going to be there tonight. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, we made T-shirts though. I'm glad some people showed up. You still got your T-shirt.
I still got my shirt. I
There you
did.
go.
I got my shirt
I'm glad.
at the donut shop.
That's right.
That's right. Oh.
Well, this year, no snow is what I'm hoping. I mean, snow for Christmas, no snow that keeps us from partying.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my hope.
For sure.
What's your favorite thing about Christmas? Oh, and singing Unicorn is your favorite thing about Christmas? Well, great. Help us. What is your favorite thing about Christmas?
That you get presents.
Oh, what, like, do you remember one present you got last year that you loved?
A gumball machine.
A gumball machine?
I know
actually-
something.
And what?
I know something.
What?
I got a peach flip phone.
Oh, that's cool.
A peachy color
Yeah.
flip phone.
Oh, that's awesome.
And get a wisp.
Lennon, can you say Merry Christmas, everybody?
Merry Christmas.
Thank y'all so much for being with us today. I hope that you have enjoyed this very special and unexpected Christmas episode of the Live and Love podcast.
I feel like we elfed everybody. It's the best.
Absolutely.
And you guys don't forget to put a few copies of Lauren's book, Live and Love, in the stockings of the people that you love. And we hope you have a beautiful holiday season.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.